Sleepy English Academy. Title: The Journey to Mastering English. How I achieved an 8.6 in IELTS and started speaking like a native. I remember sitting in my small room, the flicker of the dim light overhead barely illuminating the pile of English textbooks on my desk. Outside, the sounds of life carried on, but inside, I was on a mission to master a language that wasn't my own, a language that, at times, felt like a mountain too steep to climb. But let me take you back to the beginning. I grew up in a place where English wasn't widely spoken. In fact, for many of us, English was just a subject in school, something we memorized to pass exams but never really engaged with in daily life. The thought of achieving an 8.6 in the IELTS exam seemed impossible, but I was determined because I knew that mastering English could open doors that I had never even imagined. The dream begins. The first spark came when I realized I wanted to study abroad. I had a dream of walking the halls of a prestigious university, surrounded by students from all over the world, conversing in English like it was second nature. But, of course, the IELTS exam stood as a gatekeeper to that dream. I remember my first attempt at speaking English. It was embarrassing. I fumbled through basic sentences, tripping over words, and I could feel the eyes of others judging me. But instead of letting that discourage me, I saw it as a challenge. And that's the first lesson I want to share. Don't give up. You're going to stumble. You're going to make mistakes. But every mistake is a stepping stone toward improvement. Building the foundation. My journey began with the basics. I spent hours every day going over grammar rules, expanding my vocabulary, and listening to English podcasts. But there was something I quickly realized. Learning English isn't just about memorizing words or understanding grammar. It's about immersion. I started to surround myself with the language. I changed the settings on my phone to English, began watching movies and TV shows without subtitles, and, most importantly, I forced myself to speak. I would talk to myself, practice in front of the mirror, and even engage in conversations with strangers online, just to build my confidence. Tip 1. Immerse yourself in the language. Treat English like it's part of your daily routine. Whether you're reading, writing, or listening, always engage with the language. The road to IELTS. Setting realistic goals. The IELTS exam can be daunting, especially when aiming for a high score like 8.6. But here's something I learned. It's not about perfection. It's about progress. Every day, I set small, achievable goals for myself. I broke the exam down into its components: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. Each day, I would dedicate time to practice each of these sections. For listening, I listened to TED Talks, news broadcasts, and podcasts. For reading, I picked up English newspapers and online articles. Writing became a habit where I would write essays and get them reviewed by teachers or peers. And speaking, I took every opportunity to talk in English, no matter how uncomfortable it felt. I started small, but stayed consistent. I used apps to track my progress and ensure that I wasn't just passively learning, but actively engaging with the material. This leads me to my next point. Tip 2. Set clear, measurable goals. Instead of saying, I want to get better at English, say, I will learn 10 new words today, or I will write a 250-word essay every morning. When your goals are specific, your progress is measurable. Overcoming the speaking barrier. Speaking English fluently was one of the hardest challenges for me. It wasn't just about knowing the words. It was about how I said them. My accent felt heavy, and sometimes I felt like no matter how hard I tried, I just didn't sound native. But then I learned something that changed everything. You don't have to sound like a native speaker to speak fluently. Fluency isn't about losing your accent. It's about being understood, being confident, and expressing yourself clearly. I studied how native speakers talk, their rhythm, their intonation, and the little expressions they use in daily conversations. One trick that worked wonders for me was shadowing. I would listen to native speakers and repeat exactly what they said, trying to mimic their tone, speed, and pauses. Over time, I started sounding more natural and my confidence grew. Tip 3. Practice speaking like native speakers through shadowing. Listen, repeat, and try to match their tone and flow. But remember, it's not about sounding perfect. It's about being confident in your speech, preparing for the exam, strategies, and confidence. The night before the IELTS exam, I was nervous. I had been preparing for months, but there was always that lingering fear. What if I failed? But here's the thing. Success in language learning is about mindset. I realized that the only thing standing between me and a high score was my own self-doubt. I reminded myself of all the hard work I had put in, all the small victories along the way, and I walked into that exam room ready to give it my best shot. I focused on staying calm, following my strategies, and trusting my preparation. For the reading section, I skimmed passages first before diving into the questions. For listening, I focused on keywords and ignored distractions. In writing, I ensured my essays were structured clearly, and I backed up my points with examples. And for speaking, I relaxed, treated it like a conversation, and didn't let minor mistakes throw me off. When the results came in, I was overwhelmed with joy. An 8.6. I had done it. It wasn't just a number. It was proof that with hard work, dedication, and the right mindset, anything is possible. Tip 4. Develop strategies for each section and stay calm during the exam. Preparation is key, but your mindset plays a huge role in your performance. The path to speaking like a native. After the IELTS exam, my journey didn't stop. I continued to push myself. I knew that fluency is a lifelong journey, and if I wanted to speak like a native, I had to keep immersing myself in the language. I joined English-speaking groups, attended meetups, and even traveled to English-speaking countries when I could. The more I interacted with native speakers, the more comfortable I became, and slowly but surely, my fluency reached a level where I could hold conversations with ease, and people no longer asked, "Where are you from?" based on my accent. Tip 5. Speak without fear. Embrace conversations with native speakers. Seek out opportunities to practice. And remember that fluency is not a destination, but a continuous journey. Conclusion: don't give up. Looking back on my journey, I realized that the biggest lesson I learned wasn't just about mastering English. It was about perseverance, self-belief, and resilience. There were many moments when I wanted to give up, but I kept pushing forward. And that's what I want to leave you with today. Whether you're just starting your English journey or aiming for a high score in the IELTS exam, remember that every small step counts. Stay consistent. Stay motivated, and most importantly, don't give up. Because if I could do it, so can you.
Subscribe for more videos. Your support helps me create more content. Thanks for watching.